Hi, I'm Matt with MaximumLivingPower.com, and this is my video coaching newsletter series. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be dating different people. Well, I have an email from a guy that is asking me to cover a topic on dating different people. And what he meant by dating different people is people that maybe don't listen to the same music as you do, maybe they don't like to work out, or maybe they do like to work out, maybe you don't like to work out, or maybe you don't like seafood, or somebody smokes and the other one doesn't. So basically, just when you have some different qualities, you have different things that you enjoy doing, just basically in difference, just in general ideas. So I thought this was a great topic to cover in a newsletter because, that's a pretty popular question that I get, especially, this day and age with people asking me about dating outside their race, or, maybe dating outside their gender, maybe if they're gay or bisexual or something like that. So this is for any of y'all out there that maybe have this question, maybe an internal question about dating different people. So one thing that I always tell my clients that have this question, or maybe that may be struggling with issues in your relationship or something like that, is that whenever you're dating someone, you want to have some a common ground, is what I like to say. And what I mean by common ground is, if you don't like to work out but they do, eventually there's going to be some issues there, because from my experience, that someone who works out a lot, that's going to take up at least 30% of your time. And of course, this is away from your career or your work. So there's going to, be a little bit of, I guess you could say, being away from the other person, whether you're married, whether you're just a partner, whatever the case may be. So, the best thing that I always tell everyone is that whenever you have something that's, major that you enjoy, let's put it this way, that I'll always stress and go back to the three areas, which are your career, and like your career business, your fitness and health, and your relationships. Is that if there's anything in any one of those three that take up majority of your time that you absolutely love to do every day, or at least multiple times a week, you want to try to find someone that maybe has something that is has some kind of similarities when it comes to a like that takes up a lot of your time, because it's going to allow you to be able to spend some more time together outside of your work, or outside of just life in general. So I always try to tell everyone is just try to keep that in mind whenever you're trying to date, because trust me, it's going to have a little bit of it's going to have a little bit of issues or confrontation later on if you don't. So if you like to work out all the time, but your partner, somebody you're dating doesn't, that should be a red flag for you to sit there and say, okay, well, you know what, our values and goals on the line. So you might want to find somebody that maybe likes to work out, not every day, maybe not as much as you, but at least likes to do it a couple times per week, and that values their health, that values something similar, to where you'll both be spending most of your time. And if it's a career, say if you're in medical, but your spouse is in a completely different field, or maybe you work, one of y'all works nights, the other works days, there's nothing wrong with that. Whenever you're first starting out with your relationship, or maybe an early marriage, but try to make it to where that you can at least have a couple days, or at least one day minimum out of the week, that you could spend quality time together, going out on quality dates, maybe going out to a nice dinner, a nice restaurant, doing something together. so y'all can spend some good time together. Because if you're dating or if you're in a relationship or marriage, one thing that people tend to do when they are further along in the relationship, they become complacent, and that's when relationships start to decline and go downhill, and problems and challenges start arising. So just keep that in mind as well. And if something like, say, like I was talking about, if you have an orientation that you prefer, if you're bisexual or you're gay or something like that, just make sure that your partner is either that way or they're okay with your preference. Because if you're bisexual and you are a guy and you like guys and girls, or you're a woman and you like girls and guys, then and your partner doesn't agree with it, you're going to have problems later on. And one thing that I make sure that I stress is that people who have that tendency, to make sure that they understand that they need to be in more of an open mind, like an open relationship. Because me personally, I don't care if I'm obviously if I'm in a relationship and the girl is, just say she happens to be bisexual, and I find this out a little later on, that's something that I don't tolerate. Because to me, it doesn't matter if it's a girl or a guy. If you're in a relationship and you sleep with another girl or guy, whether you're bisexual or whatever, it's cheating. So make sure you keep that in mind, if that's a preference or if that's something that you hold of high value. So just make sure that anything that you hold high value, in other words, is what I'm trying to say, is that you keep that in mind when you're dating. Because if you don't, then later on it's not going to work out long term. You're going to struggle, and eventually it's going to end, and you're going to have heartbreak, you're going to have pain, suffering, stuff like that. So this will just help you along the way. So when I answered this guy's email, I let him know that the same thing that I just mentioned in the video is to make sure that there's nothing wrong with dating different people. Doesn't matter if you're dating outside your race, gender, whatever it is, as long as y'all have some of the similar interests, some of the same qualities, and y'all are have the same values or similar values. Not everything has to be the same, because that'll get boring if you date someone that's exactly like you. But what I mean is that you want to make sure you keep in mind, like I mentioned multiple times, is that on your 3 key areas are your career, your fitness and health, and your relationship status. You got to make sure that everybody, or like both of you, have the same goals, values, at least 80%. Because if you don't, then it's not going to work out. So if you would like my help personally, you can go to my website at MaximumLivingPower.com. Go to the coaching options tab and select the option that works best for you. If you would like me to cover a topic like the one you're watching now, or something related to career, fitness, health, or relationships, go to my website and go to the contact me tab and email me your question. Just be patient, because I do get quite a bit of emails, and I also have requests from my coaching clients, but I will get to your question as soon as I can. Please subscribe, like, and share this video for more videos like this one and other topics, and I will talk to you soon.